Hey everybody, I'm Hans Kahlert, and I've got something that I'm very excited about here in front of me. This is the third airplane in Precision Aerobatics Addiction lineup, the Addiction XL. 59-inch wingspan, 62.5-inch fuselage, a giant wing area, runs on 6S power, and light as a feather. I think PA's probably done it again here. I own the Addiction X. It's an amazing airplane. It's the airplane that I personally was so scared to fly. It was my first balsa plane, and I transferred everything from my 32-inch foamies into that airplane, and now it's the airplane that I get warmed up on that when I'm flying my larger airplanes. The Addiction lineup is just so cool, and it's a different looking airplane. I'm going to do a quick unboxing of this, and then I'm going to get busy building it. I'm really excited. I should take a second and mention the shipping. It comes triple boxed, so there's 3 layers of cardboard above this. This thing arrives in great shape. I've already been through this, so this isn't exactly how it's laid out, but here's how I'm going to talk about it, right? So I've read through the manual. It builds just like the Addiction X. I did not build the original Addiction, so I can't speak to that, but I can tell you it builds easy, and it should be a quick build, a few hours, and we should be done. Carbon fiber landing gear, the hardware pack they give you, CA hinges, the precision ball links, carbon fiber control horns, the pull that's pre-crimped, some battery velcro, a deflection gauge, which is really cool, 12, 25, 45, 55 degrees of deflection. This particular airplane belongs to Precision Aerobatics team pilot Michael Wargo. I'm excited to build it for him, and he says if I do a good enough job I'll get to fly it. Now it's all in jest, but it's a really cool looking airplane, and I'm looking forward to going through it, having the opportunity to see what PA's done different, if anything, or if they've just scaled up the Addiction X. But as it comes, they've sent him the 2 recommended props, the 15.8 and the 16.6. I think the 15.8, if I read through the manual, if I believe what I read in there, this is probably going to be the prop that this airplane spends the most time with. This one, they call out the throttle control. There's so much thrust that's being output from this thing that you need to be very sensitive with the throttle. This one's supposed to have better penetration on windy days. I don't know, we'll see. So let's talk about what we got here. Some carbon fiber parts that it comes with, or rather that it can come with. Stock wheel pants are the composite wheel pants. The bling package upgrades you to true carbon fiber, and it's nice that on these, in my Addiction X, it didn't come with the flames to match, which is kind of cool. I think it'll look great on there. Look at the size of these wheels. These things are huge. Your covering tape, or your covering film for doing your gap seals that we're going to talk about. Carbon fiber control arm horns. These aren't included. Again, this carbon fiber stuff, these 3 bits here aren't included, but are really something I think if you're going to spend the money on this airplane, you ought to spend the extra few bucks and get. The vortex generators really help the airplane fly a lot slower, plus they give it a really cool look. The carbon fiber control arm extensions here are essential for getting the throws we want out of this, and also keeping the resolution and geometry correct. Carbon fiber spinner, which also just really looks cool. Thrust 50 motor with this one, 6S. They give you these, I believe they say they're German made, prop adapter collets, which are really nice, and I've actually used a few of them on other airplanes, not in the Precision lineup. They are really nice. Tough to get off at times, but they spin very true. This Thrust 50 motor, what a nice piece this guy is. Rotor cool technology, the whole 9. There is a difference in Outrunner motors. These motors run so smooth. They do run cool. They're very efficient. They're very well made. I can't really say enough good things about them. Quantum 70 amp ESC. Oops, that goes with there. This is their recommended ESC for the setup. Takes a 6S max input. Output is 5.6 volts at 4 amps. So a good bit of amperage output for our servos. Speaking of servos, this particular one that Michael sent me, 5245 Metal Gear high techs. Now onto the airframe, the motor box. Part of the magic with these PA planes is this motor box. Held in with 4 pins behind the firewall and 1 in front. Gets epoxied in place. Gets epoxy built up around the edges to help with adhesion and strength. But to have this thing already pre-assembled really is a nice time saver. The thrust angle's built into it. You know, the design and engineering that goes into the PA airplanes, and we often just abbreviate it PA, we forget it's precision aerobatics, and part of that is the precision, which I know that I overlooked. I always thought these were just 3D airplanes, and then it dawned on me that they do a lot more than that, and there's videos out there. These airplanes fly very precisely. It's not just 3D aerobatics. They make great sport planes. They make great everyday flyers. I've flown my Addiction X in a lot of wind, and it flies. It's fun to just kind of hang it there in front of you. And I've flown it on those beautiful calm days, and it floats around, you know, as slow as one of the 32-inch foam planes that are out there, one of the EPP planes. I expect that this one will have a lot of the same magic to it, just be even bigger in the sky. They do give you some fiberglass cloth in there that's going to get cut and applied to the motor box as we go along. Everything's in here that you need to really build this airplane, with the exception of, as I said, these carbon fiber bits over here that I think are really worthwhile in investing in. Also, you know, you're spending a lot of money on a beautiful airplane that flies a certain way, and you've seen these videos of these exceptionally talented pilots like Dan Dominguez flying this thing this year. Everybody's excited about the release of this airplane. I think you do yourself a bit of a disservice, and the airplane too, if you don't put the gear on it that PA recommends. You can buy cheaper stuff, but I don't think it's as good. I really don't. I don't think it's as efficient. It's going to change slightly the weight of the airplane. You know, just my recommendation, stick with what they say. It'd be like buying a BMW and then trying to throw on brake pads for, you know, a lesser car. You know, you're buying something nice here. I'd say you go with the nice stuff. So that's the end of I'm off my soapbox on that. Let's look at the wings. These things are huge. They don't have the ailerons on them yet either. They're just immense. Symmetrical airfoil. Can't wait to see those on the airplane. Really looks great. Here's your ailerons. Look the size of these. These things are huge. We're going to get big deflections out of these. Pre-slotted, not pre-hinged. All of your hinge lines are going to get some of the spare covering that they've supplied. Once they're hinged, you're going to deflect it, and you're going to put your gap seals in here. That's essential on any high-performance 3D airplane. Keeps everything from fluttering, makes the control surfaces more efficient. You want that. You need that. You got to do it. Look at the tail surface on this. Look at the size of that rudder. It's goodness. And the man, that's huge. It's really big. It's nice they've already got the covering trimmed off of here for you. Just, it's a nice little touches like that. You have to make some openings in the fuselage for your servos, but for things like this where, you know, if you made a mistake and you cut it wide, you'd see it. It's nice that it's already done there for you. That's just part of it when you buy a precision aerobatics airplane. Let's have a look at this fuselage. Look at that. That thing is huge. Just huge. I can't wait to see it in the sky. I think it's going to really show up well. Magnets on the canopy. It's just huge. Sets up with the rudder and a pull box up here, or in a box with a long pull cord. I see. Looks like it's right here on this one, kind of midship, where on the X it's underneath the motor. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't gotten that far into it. I've read the manual. It doesn't look like there's anything that jumps out at me as being particularly difficult with this build. It looks like it's going to build just like the X in a few hours' time. You're going to want to take your time and use good quality epoxy on this. If you have some milled fiberglass, that may be worth adding in the right quantities to the control horns on your flying surfaces, just to help give it some bite. I know on my Extreme Flight Yak, my 50cc plane, that's how they recommend those get installed. It's something I've started doing, you know, on those surfaces that are going to take a lot of abuse. And these are so big, and they're going to get deflected so much, they're going to get a lot of abuse, and you're going to want it. So I'm really excited to get started building this airplane. And if there's anything that comes up along the way that requires more explanation that's not in the manual or isn't perfectly clear, I'll try to make a little video about it.